This is Dr. Dungy. Thanks for taking a few minutes to watch my video about hip replacement and the frequently asked questions I get about the surgical procedure. How long will I be on pain medication? Each person is different. According to a study conducted in my practice, 1 in 7 patients do not take any pain medication following surgery. Still, most patients stop using prescription pain medication 2 to 3 weeks following surgery. What position can I sleep in after surgery? You can sleep in any position that makes you feel comfortable, whether that be your back, either side, or stomach. When will I be able to return to work? Most people with a desk job require 2 to 3 weeks off work. Patients with more physically demanding jobs may need as long as 3 months away from work. How long until I can drive? Independence is important, and so is safety. You will determine when you can safely return to driving. Studies have shown that most patients can drive approximately 2 to 3 weeks following knee replacement surgery. I also require that you be off prescription pain medication prior to driving. When will I be able to travel? I recommend suspending travel until 3 months after surgery. The risk of getting a blood clot or other medical complications is higher immediately following surgery. How long will I have to go to physical therapy? Each person will differ in their recovery. For most people, formal physical therapy will last 4 to 8 weeks. Can I use crutches or a cane instead of a walker? I prefer my patients use a walker because the body mechanics are more normal with a walker than with cane or crutches. How long will I be on a walker as an assistive device? Approximately half of my patients come to their 2-week postoperative visit without a walker. Those still using a walker tend to wean off within 3 to 6 weeks after surgery. Will I get an ice machine? Ice machines reduce swelling, which aids in early joint mobility and pain reduction. Some of you may be fortunate enough to already have one. If you can afford it, these tend to range from $150 to $200 with online vendors such as Amazon. How long until I can swim? Your wound should not be submerged underwater for at least 3 weeks following surgery. However, you can get your wound wet in the shower with soap and water the day after surgery. What are the expectations regarding healing? Within the first month or two after surgery, most people feel relatively pain-free. However, it takes approximately 10 to 12 months to fully heal from the injury caused by surgery. Your soft tissues heal at a rate of approximately 10% per month. Will the hospital or the ambulatory surgery center provide me with a front-wheel walker? Yes. When will I be discharged from the surgical facility? If hospitalization is required for your surgery, you will most likely go home the next morning. If your surgery is at the ambulatory surgery center, you will most likely go home 1 to 2 hours after surgery. Will Dr. Dungy see me after surgery while I'm in the hospital? Typically, no. I have arranged for several medical professionals to care for you while in the hospital. These include a medical doctor called a hospitalist, an orthopedic nursing team, skilled physical and occupational therapist, and a case management specialist. If an orthopedic issue arises, I will be notified by the hospital team. Which medications do I need to stop prior to surgery? If you decide to proceed with surgery, then during your preoperative appointment, which is typically 2 weeks prior to your surgery date, we will review your current list of medications and provide advice regarding which medications to stop prior to surgery. How do you prevent blood clots after surgery? Medication to prevent blood clots after surgery is required for all patients. I typically recommend aspirin 81 milligrams twice daily for 35 days after surgery. This is only if you do not have an allergy to aspirin and do not have a history of blood clots. If you have a history of blood clots or are already on blood thinner medication, specific dosing recommendations will be tailored to you during a future preoperative appointment. I also require the use of sequential compression devices, abbreviated SCDs, to keep the blood flowing in your legs for 35 days after surgery. What about anti-inflammatory medications? I highly recommend using over-the-counter anti-inflammatory medications after surgery because they reduce swelling and decrease pain, whereas narcotic pain medication can cause mental confusion, constipation, and even addiction. Anti-inflammatories do have a slight risk for an upset stomach or stomach bleeding, such as an ulcer formation. Long-term anti-inflammatory use has been associated with kidney and heart issues. If you have a history of ulcers, gastrointestinal issues, renal disease, or an allergy to an anti-inflammatory, you should not take these medications after surgery. What about narcotic usage for pain control after surgery? Recovery can be challenging and physical therapy can be intense. I want to provide you with adequate pain control after surgery and will prescribe narcotic pain pills for after surgery. However, I caution about the potential for long-term addiction and the risk of suffering from the side effects like constipation. Try your best to only use the pain medication when you need them, not around the clock. How big will the incision be? The incision is directly related to the size of your pants or your dress. If you are a bigger person, a bigger incision will be needed to perform the surgery. If you are a smaller person, a smaller incision will usually suffice. What are the implants made of? The artificial joints that we use today are made of high-grade medical materials. Typically, these include titanium, ceramic, and a medical-grade plastic called polyethylene will serve as your new cartilage cushioning pad. What about 3D printed models, navigation, robots, and customized implants? These concepts will most likely play a role in the future of orthopedic surgery. However, I, like most surgeons, am waiting for an improvement in outcomes for patients prior to fully adopting these technologies. Is my anesthesiologist in network, and when will I meet him or her? Currently, everyone we use throughout the surgical process is in network. You will meet the anesthesiologist the day of surgery. The anesthesiologist will have reviewed your records before they meet you. Clarifying questions regarding your health may be asked of you by the preoperative nurse and the anesthesiologist. Anterior versus posterior approach. 6-week and long-term outcomes such as strength, endurance, and dislocation rates are the same for anterior and posterior approaches to hip replacement. Approximately 50% of U.S. surgeons perform the posterior approach. I perform the posterior approach because there are less surgical complications, more specifically less blood loss and no risk for a permanently numb thigh. The most important factor for both the patient and surgeon is achieving a great outcome. Surgeons should be experienced and comfortable doing the approach that they have been trained to do well. Both approaches allow full weight on your leg after surgery. Do you cut through muscles? The posterior approach splits along the fibers of a muscle while keeping the muscle fibers in continuity. Smaller hip tendons will be released from the bone and then repaired. Similarly, the anterior approach divides between muscles and releases a small tendon from the bone. What about unequal leg lengths? Studies have shown that the average arthritic hip shortens the leg approximately 8 millimeters because the cartilage has worn away. This is about equal to a stack of 5 pennies. Often your brain has adjusted to this subtle difference over a long period of time because the joint usually wears out over time. After surgery, many patients feel like their operative leg is longer. However, after about 3 months, your brain recalibrates to the new length as being normal. How about dental cleaning before and after surgery? Some dental procedures can be very invasive, and the human mouth is full of bacteria. Therefore, you must address any dental issues before proceeding with major joint replacement surgery. If you do not, you are risking infection and possibly even amputation. Historically, surgeons and dentists used to recommend pre-medicating before any dental procedures after your joint replacement. However, this is falling out of favor. Now it's time for a knowledge review. Dr. Dungy will visit me in the hospital the day after surgery. This is false. Remember, I have a team of healthcare providers to help you. To help prevent blood clots, I will have to wear sequential compression devices for 35 days. This is true. Thanks for watching my video. Please crack the door open to indicate that you are done.